Hi Alex, how you doing? Okay, I've got a lot to throw at you here, so let's get started. I think that we're well. Here, let's start with your writing. Okay, so you say for a leave behind piece, you're going to go with a physical portfolio. A portfolio is not a leave behind piece. Okay, a leave behind piece is a little gift, a little utilitarian piece that you leave after an interview to remind the interviewer of you by reinforcing your branding as you leave an interview. The leave behind piece is going to be seen after the viewer reviews your portfolio. Okay, so the formula is this. So you send your letter of intent, okay, and say, I'd like to apply for a job. It's a cover letter. All right, I found your job and so, and attaches my resume. So the formula is like this: a really good cover letter will get your resume looked at. A really good resume, and well, you get a cover letter. Then they'll look at the resume, and then they'll look at the portfolio. That at that point you would probably be called in for an interview. When you get called in for an interview, you're going to bring and go over your portfolio. So the recipient has already seen your portfolio. So it doesn't make sense to leave a portfolio as your leave behind piece. Okay. Plus, it's just too cumbersome. Gosh, this is such a big file. I'm having trouble even navigating through it. It's so big. It's over almost 500 megabytes. So you would not include all of this stuff in a box portfolio. And this could feasibly be your portfolio. A box portfolio is something that you could take to the interview to go through your pieces with your physical pieces with the interviewer, absolutely, but you certainly wouldn't leave this behind. Okay, that's really important. And at this time, I highly recommend that you design a leave behind piece that's a little bit more utilitarian. Go through some of the other classmates' examples. There's some really great, very effective examples. But this will not work as a leave behind. Really important that you understand that. So please let me know that you understand that leaving a full-blown portfolio does not constitute leaving a leave behind. All right, so at that point, we go back to your writing business card. You've got two versions. Do not recommend it. I recommend one version of the business card, one version of the letterhead. Okay, now we can condense what you're saying into what you're presenting into one version, and I'll go over that right now. So at this point, let's jump over to your work. So we've got the business card. You got business card 1 and business card 2. Now, this approach right here, my recommendation is this. Here's your business card. What I would do is this. I would assemble this business card as such. Place your logo on the front of the business card, okay? So technically what you can do is, let's take your logo, place it right here on the front of your business card. Then what you can do is take this information, reduce the size, and place it right here. Okay, then you have your contact information. Okay, so and then on the back of the business card, you can place just the X. Okay, so front of the business card has your original full-blown logo. This one on the front right here, then your contact information right here. Then the back of the card just has the X. Okay, now the letterhead. Now the letterhead is missing a lot of information, and I'll go over that in a second. But again, I don't recommend this big black box on the top of the letterhead. It's just adding too much visual weight there. But your business card is black. That's okay. And the black business card actually does create a lot of visual weight. I don't recommend black business cards. I think they're too bulky. But if you just use a white background here with black type, I think you'll accomplish the same thing. This stroke here could be problematic because it's so close to the edge of the card that quite often trimmers in print shops, they're not as accurate as you would think. So if they mistrim this at all, you're going to have uneven borders. So that's a production concern on the business card, is that kind of frame. I don't recommend it. Okay, so if you assemble your business card as white with the logo and then your type is black, you'll create a higher degree of consistency with the letterhead being white, and then the logo placed right up here. Now, in conjunction with the logo placed right up here, I would also recommend that when you do place your logo, make sure it aligns right here with your left margin, right? Then what I would do is either place your contact information over here or span it across. Let me just bring this down in size a little bit, or span it across the bottom of the letterhead. But you definitely want to include all of your contact information in the letterhead. Here's your general rule. This is what we're looking for right here. Here's our note. So elements to be included in the business card: your name, your logo, your address. It's optional in a business card, but recommended. Your telephone, fax, and or cell, email address, job title, web page URL, and your LinkedIn page, if applicable. Be sure to include the following elements in your letterhead: logo, name, address, in your letterhead. Logo, name, and address. The address, return address absolutely has to be included in the letterhead. Your telephone, fax, and or cell phone, email, and web URL. And then the leave behind, all of your contact information should go on there. I also recommend designing a number 10 envelope for your suite. That'll just make things a little more complete. Really super easy to design. It's basically logo and contact information. But look up the dimensions of a number 10 envelope. All right, so right now, as I see it, the adjustments for the business card and the letterhead are pretty minor. But the adjustments for that leave behind it won't work leaving a full-blown portfolio. That's not what a leave behind is. So my main concern right now is redesigning the leave behind to make it something that's a little bit more fun, something a little that the recipient will actually use, like a pen and pencil set, a pen and a mechanical pencil in a box with your branding on it, and maybe your logo right on the pen and pencil. That's something that would definitely be used. Absolutely, I would use it. I get pen and pencil sets all the time from as leave behinds from designers. So it's something that that's going to be used and that reinforce your branding if the recipient actually keeps the leave behind piece. Okay, I know I threw a lot at you here, Alex, and I think that we can really improve. And I highly recommend that you think about my recommendations. I'm not trying to take over your project. I'm not trying to direct your project. I'm giving you my reactions as a hiring professional with over 20 years of experience, things that I look for when I'm deciding I'm going to hire for my studio. Okay, makes sense? All right, so at this point, yes, get with me with any questions at all. Any questions, please let me make any necessary clarifications before you continue. You're very, very close to being right on track, but we're astray a little bit, and we got to reel things in here, Alex. So please let me know if you have any questions. All right, fantastic. Thank you very much.